I will go ahead. I will go ahead and call this New Westminster Police Board meeting to order. As always, I'll start with the land acknowledgement. We recognize and respect that New Westminster is on the unceded and unsurrendered land of the Halkanilan-speaking peoples. We acknowledge that colonialism has made invisible their histories and connections to the land. As a city, we are learning and building relationships with the peoples whose lands we are on. Does anyone have anything to add to the agenda? Are you going to speak to your report?
I am, yes.
Okay, perfect. Kelsey.
I just wanted to ask a question. Last meeting, we deferred BCAPD updates because Patrick wasn't here. Did we want to add that back to the agenda, or were there no updates?
We can just New Year.
Sure.
That's fine.
Oh, great.
One agenda item about HR something.
Great. I will do new business 4.1 HR. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put committees.
Okay.
Because we need to. Perfect. Okay. Could I have someone move to adopt the agenda? Second. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Great. Okay. Before we go through consent, we have a new board member, and so I thought it might be nice if we did a little round of introductions. I was hoping you could share your name and something that another counselor had asked us to do at a meeting was also to share something that you love. And we know that you love your family and your pets and your kids, hopefully most of the time, but just something that brings you joy. So we'll just do a round, and if you could also introduce your role, that would be helpful too. So I will start. My name is Tasha. I'm the chair of the police board. I love it when you see a dog that has like a stick that's way too big for it, and it's like so proud, and it's like prancing along with like basically the arm of the tree in its mouth. I'm gonna pass it to you.
Don't go that way.
Okay,
I'll forget otherwise. I'm Paul Highland. We've met already, Heather. I'm the chief constable, and I would say at this stage of my life, I really love traveling.
I'm Kelsey Ball. I'm a board member, and something that I really love right now is reading romance novels. Medication for my brain.
I'm Mary Chantilly. I'm a board member, and right now I am loving crocheting a support chicken.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Darren, and I'm the manager of finance here at the police station. And I love that first cup of coffee you have on the couch alone before anyone wakes up in the morning.
So nice.
I'm Sarah Patterson. I'm the Human Resources Manager, and I love trail running.
I'm the board vice chair, and I love voting.
Eric Blower, president with the New Westminster Police Association, and I did love the Blue Jays.
Scorned.
Hello, this is Sanjay Kumar, Inspector of the Operations Division. I love coaching my kids, sometimes. Patrick Malone, board member, and I love rare moments of peace and quiet.
Spoken like the true parent of the toddler.
100%. Inspector Martha Mishkirka, oversee the Criminal Investigations Division, and I love finding money in my pocket that you don't expect, and I also love Mexican food.
Love that.
Good morning, my name is Heather O'Connor. I'm a board member, and I love finding random hot springs around BC, and I chase them.
Chasing husband.
I'm Daisy. I am the TCA and the board secretary, and I also love to travel.
My name's Haley. I do communications here at NWPD, and I love the spa.
My name is Jeff Scott. I'm the Inspector of Administration Division, and I love riding motorcycles.
Safely.
Safely.
Under the speed limit.
My name is Andrew Perry. I'm one of our deputy chief constables. So I love snowboarding, and Whistler opens this weekend in case anybody else does. So.
But you drew your next in the circle.
Good morning. I'm Drew Hart. I'm a board member. I apologize for not being there in person. I'm joining from my office at St. Paul's Hospital this morning. I really love cleaning out the crap in my house. I've been for whatever reason, the energy has struck the last few weeks and I have been getting rid of all kinds of stuff. And when the energy strikes, just go with it. And I'm loving it.
Come to my place, Drew. Start with me first.
And welcome, Heather. Great to see you.
Deputy Chief David Ward, and one of the things I like to do is fly fishing.
Awesome. And we have George, who's here. George, would you like to share something you love?
I'm George Tomlinson, and I like to pop up into meetings that nobody expects.
Well, I'm happy that we've brought you so much joy today. It's great.
Accomplish a goal.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. Moving back on to, but Heather, we're really excited for you to join us. And I think you'll bring a whole, just so much experience and yeah.
Thank you for the introductions, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Okay, jumping into it, would anyone like to pull things off of consent? Yeah, Kelsey.
Can I pull 2.6, please?
Yeah. Anyone else? Heather?
2.11B.
Okay. Correspondence there?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that the social media one, the B?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, I'm just gonna pull 2.211. Anything else? Mary, wait, did you want to say anything about the econ report?
I don't, I mean, I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has any, but I don't have anything.
Okay,
to add to it.
if nobody pulls it, that's fine. Yeah. All right, so I have 2.6 and 2.11 pulled. Anyone else last going one? Could someone move to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
All in favor, all opposed, carried. Great, so 2.6.
This may have just been an oversight, but I thought we had agreed to schedule an August meeting. And that's not reflected in this meeting date.
Okay,
document.
Great. Are we able to do that and then recirculate it?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I thought it was decided that we were only scheduling it if it's required. Is that correct?
I think probably we will schedule it to happen in people's calendars and then cancel if it's not needed. Sorry for that miscommunication. Great. Other than that, do the days look okay? Because I think that we can then still approve it or adopt it if we need to, with the addition of August. Does that sound good? Okay. Was that just for information? Daisy, or do we need to? Sure.
It was
just
last time was drafts, and now it's just it's confirmed they're not drafts anymore. They're
Okay.
confirmed dates.
Okay.
So yeah, just for information.
Okay.
Do you want me to move for seat?
Sure.
Okay, I'll move for seat of the police board meeting dates.
Right. Can someone second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed, carried. Great. 2.11, the correspondence. Heather, I'll let you go for B.
Yeah, I did want to just, I read this email from a community member around some comments on a Facebook post. And I do think it's quite important to moderate Facebook because we know what can happen in those settings. And so I am just wondering, they're asking if there's a policy. I'm not as worried about a policy, but like what operationally do we do to make sure that Facebook doesn't have a really negative place for.
I guess I'll direct it to you.
Yeah, I'll just answer that quickly and then perhaps turn over to Haley for a bit of context as well. So yes, we do monitor comments and Haley and I had this conversation when this came in. The challenge right now is just sheer volume. I think we get 9,000 comments between Instagram and Facebook alone. So yes, Haley does monitor it the best that she can. And we do have, is it written policy or more
We have
guidelines?
We follow the city's lead in having a participant use policy, so that's posted on our website and on social media, so people know that if they don't abide by that policy, that their comments may be hidden and they may be banned. Yeah.
I think generally though, the conversation around how we mediate or monitor that, I mean, Haley is a person with octopus arms doing like 100 different things, and that we have acknowledged that before. And I think if maybe during our strategic planning process next year, it might be helpful for us to do some forward thinking about what is needed to support communications. Because I think if 9,000 comments, how
Per
often?
month or how?
So we're on track for 9,000 comments this year
Oh, this year.
on Facebook and Instagram, but on Facebook alone in that 1 week that we received the letter, it was around 867 comments on Facebook to moderate in 7 days.
Yeah, and that's a lot. And considering that we don't have a dedicated person doing, I mean, we have a dedicated person doing that, but she's also dedicated doing many other things. And so I think if we want to continue having an open forum on social media, we are also going to have to think about what resourcing that looks like in terms of offering communications staff some support to do that work.
And on that note, Inspector Scott is doing a bit of a comms review and talking with Haley to come up with what that is. Haley's position technically is half-time with us and half-time with the city. So it's something we definitely need to look at, and Haley's role has expanded quite a bit. She's working on our upgrade of our website and a million other internal things. Internal comms is a whole other piece as well. So there's hopefully a report going to be coming from Jeff in the near future and should guide some decision making.
Okay. Yeah.
Haley's smiling.
Yeah. But I think really important, and I wrote this resident back to say, yeah, we don't want to leave things like that hanging. And we actually don't necessarily always have the people power to be, things can get posted at 9 p.m. at night, and I certainly don't want staff having to monitor those things in the evening. So what does a reasonable approach look like moving forward? Is it that comments get turned off? I don't know, whatever. I'm not a communications expert, so I will defer to staff to bring some recommendations there, but I think it's something to keep top of mind.
I did appreciate the residents' letter because it prompted me to go into Facebook and see what tools Facebook offers to support efficient comment moderation, and some of those tools were strengthened since that person's letter.
Oh, good. That's good. Okay. The next piece of the correspondence that I wanted to raise was just that the CAPG conference. I'm curious to know if anyone else knows whether we have ever put in a proposal and whether there would be support to do that. I don't see that it would cost us anything to be the host city. It looks like the host cities are traditionally just the big cities. I am happy, would want to reach out to tourism to see if that's something they might want to partner with or collaborate on to support that and support that proposal. But I would be happy to do the legwork to propose that we host that conference in 2027 if that's of interest to the board. So I'll just open that up for conversation.
One thing I would flag there is I don't know if it's a strict policy, but CACP and CAPG, they tend to try to jointly host the conferences.
Oh, okay.
They didn't for a few years there, but it seems like they've gone back. Like for instance, this year was in Victoria, both conferences, and next year's in Edmonton. I don't think that precludes the board from wanting to go down the path, but
okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's would be nice to put us on the map, and always good to have opportunities to bring folks into the city and generate some boost to the local businesses. So if that's something generally that people are supportive of, I can put the proposal together if it makes sense. I don't know. I would need to check to see if we even have the capacity of hotel capacity.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna comment, that I'm supportive, but I'm just worried about the hotel capacity. I think that's what's kind of restricted us in the past.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't see any big opposition, so I'll explore it if it makes sense. If it's a dead end road, that's fine. Yeah, perfect. Okay, ongoing business. Chief Constable update.
I prepared a few notes just regarding the report, the ECOM report that came out. I'll just talk a little bit about it just for the public's interest. So this report was completed recently, came out. Really, it's a lot of recommendations towards ECOM. Some of the major issues that were identified in the report were some governance challenges. Currently, the board is 23 members. Some challenges around fiduciary responsibilities, i.e., our board members responsible to the company, that being ECOM, or to the local constituency. Some operational challenges. ECOM is managing 99% of 911 calls, facing a lot of challenges with call volume increasing, complexity, and of course, NG 911 is also in the very near future coming down. Some financial sustainability issues, which is obviously something front and center for the board and for all municipalities, in that there's been some challenges with the financial increases and controls on there. There'll be more to come on that in our budget report. A lack of provincial standards, no specific provincial legislation defining standards, metrics, and quality assurance. So some of the recommendations that the reports do talk about is reforming the governance structure. And there was a separate kind of review going on with that. I don't know if that's going to kind of kick off again. Defining a clear provincial role. What role does the province play in that as far as setting standards, enforcing performance, and supporting regional and rural PSAP needs? And then standardizing standards and regulations, call answer times, triage rules, training requirements, strengthening some of the financial predictability. We've been advocating, we being the chiefs, municipal chiefs, advocating for a provincial cell phone levy that would help offset some of the costs. I think we're the only province, I could stand to be corrected on that does not have one currently. Those are usually about $1, $1.25 per month, and that goes towards 911 and emergency call taking. And then just improving system resilience and capacity. And I believe they also talked a little bit about strategic planning and prioritization. I believe their last strategic plan was 2018. So just doing that and aligning the board governance along with the operations in the organization. That's it. And has any questions on the econ report? If Mary has anything to add?
I can add a little bit if you like. So I guess based on the review that came back, there, as a board member, I would say there wasn't a ton in that review that was surprising or shocking. I would say that one of the pieces that I want to understand a bit better that was sort of loud in the report to me was the province's involvement and how the province wants to be involved or how it should be involved. And I think that will take probably a little bit more work. I also feel like as ECOM, it's something that we don't have a lot of control over. It seems like that's a provincial decision that needs to be made, and I'm not sure how quickly the province will make that decision. As you know, ECOM does have a new interim CEO right now, whose mandate will be to pick up the pieces from the report and start to move those forward. I guess when I started on the econ board, we were sort of undertaking the governance review and the financial modeling review. Those were largely put on pause. The financial work continued at a slower pace, but the governance review was paused in order to hear back from the province. The province has essentially recommended exactly what ECOM was working towards, but not it wasn't looking like it was going to be wildly successful in reducing the board from 23 down to the 8, or I'm not sure I can't remember what's in the report, 8 or 12 or something like that. That was proving to be met with a lot of resistance from stakeholders. So now that the province is essentially mandating or strongly recommending that, perhaps that will be an easier path. So we have, I think our first board meeting after this review is coming up next week. So I suspect that the review will be a large part of that board discussion. And the CEO, the interim CEO, is also rolling out the plan for responding to the review. So I expect to see things happening and changing. I don't know how quickly it will be. The trick will be reducing the board and also working with the province to determine their involvement. The financial modeling, I know that there's been some changes financially with the levies. I don't know if anything's been, it hasn't been approved by the board yet, but you've had an update.
Yeah, we've had an update, so the budget reflects.
Yeah. So there are things changing, but it will take a little bit more time as well. So thank you.
Moving along, I just wanted to also just address an item in the consent agenda that wasn't pulled. That's the Q3 report. So thanks again to Jacqueline and the finance team for crunching those numbers. So just for the public's information, as it stands after Q3, we're predicting a year-end positive variance of approximately $700,000. Much of that is assumed to be a result of salary savings from staffing vacancies. So part of that challenge is just capacity at the GIBC and our ability to get recruits into the GIBC. That is limited right now. Well, there's some different plans that are being proposed to help fix that. We're not having a challenge finding the recruits. It's just a matter of actually plugging them into the GI for their actual recruit training. Also want to welcome our newest board member. Very exciting to have you on board, Heather. We met last week, sworn in. So there's about 8 committees you've been signed up for that you probably weren't aware of. But, welcome. I'm very excited to have you on board. I just want to address as well for the public's information regarding the Costco opening this weekend. As all the members in the room know, the traffic issues are front and center oftentimes in the community, and obviously there was a traffic volume nightmare with the opening of Costco. I don't think this was unanticipated. From our side, we had 6 to 7 members on call out for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to assist with the volume and traffic control. All of those overtime costs are being borne by Costco, so they're being billed back for that time. The challenge I think that is being faced, it's less of a policing issue, if a policing issue at all. It's just sheer volume and road design in the area. And looking at some of the communications from city engineering, the other challenges, much of the challenges are on private property. So in speaking, I haven't spoken with the Costco folks, but I know Inspector Kumar has been in touch and talking, and this is not uncommon for openings of these large kind of big box retailers. That's why they have this this overtime plan. So the hope is that that's going to reduce in the coming weeks, but it's something we'll be monitoring along with city engineering as well. Really quickly regarding our downtown initiatives, we've been doing that since May of this year. So it's been quite significant. We're now basically out of our C-STEP funding. So we have 2 to 3 shifts a week that are happening with 2 members doing proactive foot patrols in the downtown core. We plan to continue that till the end of the year. Much of that will be on our own overtime amount. We've had a ton of positive feedback from the downtown residents and business community. During the 6 months, there's been over 258 files generated, 60 arrests, 1,200 patrol hours logged, 25 weapons seized in the downtown core, a number of drug seizures as well. More important, I think, and where it's I think, assisting is our ability to interact with some members of the marginalized community and try and get them into some of the supports that they need. Obviously, when we're down there, we do have interactions, and our primary role is obviously to make sure that we can assist them how we can, if it's whether it's getting into supports or accessing supports in the community. And also, there was over 230 business, resident, and individual engagements with the foot patrols. So very positive, and we plan to continue that, and we'll see where things land by the end of December. Happy to take any questions on that.
Can you, circling back to Costco just for a second, if there are needs for additional traffic management there, would that be something that operationally we would just send someone from the traffic unit there, or is that something that Costco would continue to bear the cost of? Or is that only because it was a special event, the opening?
That would be something we'd have to address when the time comes. I don't think we can compel, obviously, a private company to fund policing services. The challenge would be if we don't see an abatement of the traffic volume issues, there needs to be a systemic look at how it's all configured down there. I think at the best of times, there's some traffic challenges in and out of that area. So there have to be some kind of look at that as to how we address the underlying issues that are creating the traffic challenges.
And how, or if do you see sort of this like surge in traffic over there, does that have any impact on members' ability to be responsive to calls from Queensborough?
I think it would have some impact for sure. The one advantage that the police have obviously is the use of emergency equipment. So if needed, we could certainly get to the community as needed, just using lights and siren to get in there. But it would definitely have an impact. For non-emergency response times, it would have a significant impact because members would have to basically line up with everyone else to try and get over to the community.
Okay. Okay. That will be, yeah, I think that I think residents in Queensborough have already expressed worry that someone, that we wouldn't be responsive based on the regular traffic patterns. And so I think that, reiterating to them that, in an emergency situations, you have a will be important to calm those nerves.
And even in situations, for instance, if the bridge actually was closed and we couldn't get there, we would arrange for either Delta Police
Yes,
or
okay.
Richmond RCMP to attend on our behalf, and that's happened
Okay.
in the past, and we've assisted them as well.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know.
And the only other final, I just wanted to also speak about from the consent agenda was the RPAS policy. I know board member Kelsey had talked about just ensuring that we amended the policy in there to ensure that the data was being retained on NWPD servers and in Canada. So we've just added that. That was happening in the background anyway, but we've just added that piece to the policy as well.
Any questions for the chief? Drew?
Nope. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. 3.2, the draft operating budget report. Where is she?
I'm here.
She's here.
The final time we need to look at this. Do you have anything to add? Do you want to?
Just really quickly, I really want to thank, we were asked about what things we love. I was going to say police budgeting process, and then I thought I'd defer to traveling. So I really want to thank Jacqueline and her team and all the team really that worked on this. We started this back in, I believe, about May with a range in the 9 to 13%. A lot of work's gone into it. Very thankful also to the board and council who've also had an opportunity to see this and weigh in on it. We get and we understand that police is expensive. It's a big part of the municipal budget. But again, a lot of work's gone into this. And I unfortunately think that in the current state, what we're seeing is the police department's in a bit of a catch-up mode. But again, a lot of work's gone into it. I'm very appreciative of that. And with that, I'll turn it over to Justin for a quick.
So we can just probably click through the next slide, which is really just the purpose of what we're here for. I've just combined both the operating and capital budget, and I will tell you, there's not a ton of slides. I just wanted to have something up in case a member from the public was tuning in for the first time today. The purpose is to seek approval for the police board's provisional 2026 operating budget and the capital budget. So next slide. So this is just the slide I wanted to highlight to the public in case someone is watching that hasn't been tuning in monthly on all of the discussions we've been having. We did start this conversation back internally in April where we presented our 5-year staffing and resource plan. That moved into a report in June where we presented an increase of approximately 3 to 13.5%. This incorporated a partial implementation of the 5-year plan, and it was based off of a 3-year hiring kind of capacity. We came back with the next month with some feedback from the board to be more specific in what we could actually achieve in 2026, which is what we did in July. That budget presentation had a range of 8.36% to 10.9%, and then this version of the budget was endorsed by the board to bring forward to open, which we did, and that was brought forward to open discussion, including a full presentation. So this is the point I really wanted to highlight, that if there's someone watching today that didn't get an opportunity to see the in-depth presentation, there is one in our September board meeting. And then again, in October, when we presented a joint meeting with council, we did a presentation again. So if someone was interested in watching the full report, you could have an opportunity to go back and view those in September and October. And then that brings us to today. In November, we are seeking the approval, and the budget for the operating is going to be 9.24%. And if we just flip to the next slide, it just shows a breakdown. So the total operating increase is 3.2 million. About 70% of that is non-discretionary spending, and about 30% is discretionary spending. Just a couple of changes to highlight from the last meeting we had. ECOM did come back with some revised figures for their levies. So we have adjusted to their new estimate, which was 2% for the dispatch levy and 0 to 4% for their equipment. So we used the higher of the two there. I also included the ICE funded position, which was something I hadn't included. It's a net zero impact on the budget, but I just wanted to make sure that we know that funding's approved and we're moving through it. So I added the position not to our authorized strength, but just to our salary line, and then again to our revenue. And then I did push our third-party checks revenue a little bit, about 40%, 40,000 for next year. Just looking at the Q3 results, we're trending quite a bit higher than expected. While we did have a large push on those early in the year, I think we're pretty confident that we'll get that extra 40,000. So those are the changes on operating, and then the next slide. So here we are, and that we are seeking that the New Westminster Police Board approve the 2026 provisional budget.
Great. Questions?
I can just pause for 1 second. Just to clarify the ICE position, right? That's the child sexual exploitation position. I just don't want any of the public confused with the ICE positions down in the United States. So that's all what's happening there. So it's child sexual exploitation investigator position is what that one is for.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you, Andrew.
an excellent catch. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I feel like and then we're just gonna start the next round immediately after. With so much work from all of you. I have a question around, and maybe you've told me this, so apologies, but if we do end up with a surplus in the operating budget, can that be used to offset, or does that just immediately go into reserves?
It goes into city reserves.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, but it just would have been nice if we could keep it. Okay, does anyone have any additional thoughts? Drew, I can't see you, so just pipe up if you.
No, I'm supportive of option one and just really appreciative of the effort and the time that staff have put into this. It feels like we've been working on it all year. I guess we have, and we'll start the next one soon.
Can I take that as you moving the recommendation?
I move to accept the police budget for 2026, both operating and capital. Are we doing them separate? The operating budget.
I think we should do them separate. Yeah.
Okay. Someone like a second? All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Awesome. Good work. Thank you. And moving on to capital.
Let's move on to capital. And this is just a highlight of 2026. In the report, there is the 5-year plan. So we have information technology system and servers, some building renovations that will be the retrofit of the building jail doors, as well as some smaller projects. And then the specialized equipment is things like ballistic vests, the rifle program, and a few other things. All of that has been laid out in the report. So that's 1.18 million for 2026 new projects. The next slide. So again, the recommendation is that the New Westminster Police Board approve the 2026 capital budget.
Comments, feedback?
I'll move the option one.
I'll second.
Just before we vote, again, this has been a multi-month process, and so if someone's watching and thinking, wow, there's no questions about the budget, it's because we've had a lot of ample opportunity to dig into this line by line. So don't want to leave anyone with that impression, aka George. Just teasing. I'm teasing, yeah. Awesome. Any other comments before we? All right, all in favor? All opposed? Carried. Great. Thank you so much to the whole team for working on that. 3.4.
Ahead of time.
I actually don't have any files of note.
Okay.
To highlight or anything like that. There's actually no circling all files identified last month. So yeah, nothing else to share.
Awesome. Thanks. Does anyone have any questions or anything about the Bureau report from October? Oh, we're good. Can someone move receipt?
So moved.
And second. Okay. All in favor? Those carried. Thanks. 3.5.
Just the one update that I have is, I'm sure you all read it in the report, there was several residential break-and-enters. We were able to locate and arrest the suspect, and charges have been forwarded on that. That person has created a lot of, about 10 different babies in the city, so it was good to get them in custody and get the charges approved. The only other thing is major crime section. they're really busy. They received 11 new files in October. So just working with the plan to make sure they're staffed accordingly. So unless anyone else has any questions.
Thanks for the update. Awesome. Will someone move receipt?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Those carried. Great. And Kelsey, update from the governance committee.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share for the benefit of everybody, the board has sort of received a bit of an interim update that the governance project has officially kicked off. We've had our kickoff meeting with our consultant. We have a detailed work plan that we're working towards now. Board members should have received a survey from McLaughlin, and then following completion of the survey, they'll be reaching out to schedule one-on-one interviews with everybody, intended to be completed before the end of the year. Daisy is also helping us to land on 2 half-day board workshops in the new year. That'll inform some of the work that the consultants are doing. So if you haven't provided your availability to her, please do so. Other than that, we're just moving forward. We have monthly touch base meetings with the consultants and the governance committee scheduled. And if anything pops up in the meantime, I'm sort of acting as the point person for the governance committee right now. We're gonna just do a rotating situation depending on who's busiest at the time. So feel free to reach out if anything comes up that you'd like me or like us to convey as the work goes on.
Great. Do you, could you, Mary or Drew, maybe provide a bit of context for Heather just around the governance work and sort of where we are in the process?
Also, do we know if Heather received the survey? You should have.
Did you?
You did. Okay, great. Excellent. Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, you're the point person, Kelsey. I heard.
Point. Okay. So it has been a couple of years, I think. I'm only a year into being on the board, that there's been conversation around sort of needing to update not only our governance manual, but just sort of looking at governance overall. So originally we thought that we could undertake that work as a board, and when we looked into what it actually entailed, we realized that it was sort of beyond our capacity. So starting in the spring or summer, I think, we went through an expression of interest process to solicit expressions of interest from consultants that could help us through the project, which is primarily focused on updating our manual as sort of the scope, but obviously there's a lot of conversations and information gathering that goes into that. And so we selected our consultant at the end, I guess last meeting that was officially confirmed. And so, yeah, we're in the process right now. We just launched the work, and I think we're hoping that we'll be finished by the spring, basically.
Thank you. Any questions for the governance folks? Please make sure that you get those dates to Daisy and to complete the survey. Yeah, just be mindful that as we strike up committees and do that work, there might be additional emails coming to your board email. And I can continue to flag that sort of informally via our chat group that we have. Okay, perfect. New business committees 4.1. So speaking of committees, just thought now that like Kelsey, it's been a year, let's just strike up 1,000 committees and do all the work now that I understand what's happening. As in what's happening, as in what I'm supposed to be doing. So the governance community is underway. We've also had some discussions about needing an HR subcommittee or committee to tackle some of the just regular HR work and some policy frameworks around that, as well as the strategic planning committee. So Patrick was away, and Heather, you're not here yet, but our strategic plan has lapsed, and there was some discussion about doing kind of like a mini update, and then trying to align it with new council, but that timing just feels a little off, and we're required through the Police Act to do a community survey every 3 years. And so I think that it makes the most sense, and the board had agreed that we align that survey and community engagement with the development of a new strat plan, because it can then feed into that in a timely way. And so we'll be looking at starting that sort of concurrently with the governance review. I don't want to wait till the governance review is done, but I think that it makes sense to, start that in the new year. So myself and who else said that they would? Oh, Heather, thank you. I'm like, which other? And Heather and I have spoken informally that she was interested in that. Patrick, I didn't know if you had the capacity or interest. I know you're also doing BCAPG and all these things. So just wanted to touch base and then talk about the HR committee. So I will open that up, and then I will move a recommendation for appointments if you're good. Yeah, you're out. Okay. So I will move a recommendation that we strike an HR committee that consists of Heather B, myself, and Drew, and a strategic planning committee that consists of myself, Heather, and both Heathers.
Squared.
Heather squared. I think I'm not volunteering anyone. I think everyone has put their name forward. So if someone could second that.
Second.
I'll second that. Awesome.
Awesome, thank you. Any more discussion on that? And we will meet as our own committee to set up times. Great, all in favor? All opposed, carried. Thank you very much. All right, just a note here. I wanted to start reading this out loud. We will be adjourning our open meeting. There are times when the board needs to meet in camera and in accordance with the Police Act. We can't just willy-nilly decide that just for transparency's sake to the public. There is rationale here listed under section 69(2), a matter concerning public security, a person's financial or personal affairs, labor contract discussions, and personnel matters. So those might be reasons why we would be moving to in-camera meetings. So I think it's important to note that. But if there's nothing else, I will move, someone could move to adjourn the open meeting, and we will see you after the holidays. See you here. Second, all in favor, all opposed, carried. Thank you, everyone.